Hello, everyone. This is Luis Concepcion from Strategic Profit Line Trading, coming to you with the plan of the week for week number 18. As always, here's our disclosures. This content is for educational purposes only, not providing any investment advice. This is not tailored to any one individual, and everybody must understand their trading and time horizon. Past performance does not guarantee future results or success, and all investments and trading involve risks, including the loss of principal. Here's our agenda for the week. I'll cover the news, market overview on the indices. We had a very, very busy week. And as you can see, earnings just keep piling up. We got 1,065 companies reporting earnings this week, even more than last week, even though all the big boys reported last week. Still got a couple of things that can affect the market this week. Had a good week last week. Provided 25 zones, went 3-0 in stocks. For options, we went 4-0, no entry on 17, and three equities closed in zones on Friday, and that was Pepsi, TXN, and IBM. Here's the earnings outlook for the week. Like I said, a very, very busy week. Even though we have 1,000 companies, I'm giving a little bit more companies than usual, probably about 25, 30 opportunities to see how that works. So this video might be a little bit longer than usual. Here we go. I went ahead and updated the trades that worked. That trade of the week was Tesla, Texan and Microsoft that work in equities, bringing us to 27 and 17. And for our options trades, those were the same ones that worked in options as well, bringing us to 58 and 12. Moving into what we got for news on Monday, we have nothing affecting us in the U.S. markets till after the market. So no volatility, increased volatility should be there on Monday for us. Moving on into Tuesday, pre-market, we got the employment cost index, which caused some volatility into the open, and then 30 minutes after the open, we got consumer confidence report. Those of you trading New Zealand dollar, be mindful you have a report after the close of the market, so be cognizant of that. Those of you trading futures and forex. Moving on to Wednesday, we got non-farm payroll pre-market, so it should cause some volatility, possibly with two more reports coming out 15 minutes and 30 minutes respectively after the market, which is final manufacturing PMI and ISM PMI. At 11 o'clock, we got the Fed funds rate and another FOMC statement. So that could cause volatility midday on Wednesday. So be cognizant, Wednesday might be a volatile day. Moving on to Thursday, we got unemployment claims pre-market. So that might cause volatility into the market open. And then on Friday, we have three reports that are going to affect us pre-market and 30 minutes into the opening. So that's going to be your average hourly earnings, your non-farm employment change, unemployment rate, and then 30 minutes into the market, your ISM service PMI. And that's going to do it for news this week. Moving into our equity, starting with the SPX, we do now have supply in the market. The market has made a turn, and what I'm talking about is this turn right here, thanks to NVIDIA and Facebook the last couple of weeks. This was NVIDIA moving the market down, and then this was Facebook. They both had horrible, they both met expectations, but they caused this downdraft in the market. So with that being said, we have supply at 51.60 to 52.22. Haven't said that in a while. With that being said, we might have an up week, and I will not be shocked if this is what happens the rest of the year until we have our election. So we might be in a sideways range. With that being said, if we get back up to the 5,200 area, that might be a good time to place insurance on your portfolio. If you don't know how to do that, feel free to contact me and see if we can set something up. But we might be coming into an era where the portfolio insurance might be required if you want to sleep at night. With that being said, the supply, I got 51.60 to 52.22, and on the demand side, 49.55 to 49.06. Moving on to the NASDAQ. Again, we have supply in the NASDAQ as well. That level for you is going to be 17,950, roughly to 8,200. And then we got another level on top, 18,175 to, let's call it 18,500. Again, supply is showing up in the markets. On the demand side, we got 16,863 to 16,562. Be aware again in the NASDAQ as well. We might push up just to come right back down. Moving on to the Dow Jones. DJX. Again, supply at 395.22 to 399.36. And on the demand side, 374.67 to 370.18. Moving on to the rut. The rut has not changed all year. The rut was the first one that indicated us because this held for 5 months, got our push down. All the rest of the markets finally followed. Thank you again, NVIDIA and Facebook or Meta. And again, we are in the middle of our zones that we've identified the whole year. So those zones have not changed on the Russell. That zone is going to be 2067 to 2138 on the supply side, and on the demand side, 1887 to 1847. Now, moving into earnings for the week. Got a lot of companies for you this week. Again, I'm not going to go over 1,000 companies, but here we go. First company I got for you starting on Monday is SoFi. This is one of those cheaper stocks for those of you who are always asking me for lower price equities. So on the supply side, we got 884 to 919 and 1019 to 1049. And on the demand side, 543 to 508. These companies are reporting on Monday. On the demand side, 5378 to 5063. On the supply side, 8925 to 9281. Domino's Pizza's next. So Domino's on the supply side, 546.03 to 567.57. On the demand side, as you can see, I have 3 levels for you here. They got 3 levels. So at the below 450, Domino's has a lot of demand. So you got 429.12 to 412.36, and then you have another level right underneath it, 409.78 to 389.57 in the event of an overshoot on Monday morning. Next company is Logitech. So on the demand side, 64.05 to 62.09, and on the supply side, 115.93 to 122.34. Next company is FFIV. On the supply side, 208.67 to 217.40. On the demand side, 132.62 to 116.15. Next company I have for you is PayPal. And moving on, this is starting on Tuesday. So for Tuesday, PayPal, 72.24 to 76.65 on the supply side, 52.04 to 50.23 on the demand side. Next company is Eli Lilly. No supply on Eli Lilly as his all-time highs was 878. First demand zone I have for you is 624.49 to 608.25. In the event of an overshoot, you got a level right here, 587.38 to 576.36. Next company I got for you is 3M. 3M on the demand side, 76.07 to 71.57, and on the supply side, 116.82 to 120.41. Good old Mickey D's. So be mindful that this level has pretty much already worked. However, this is the level that's holding McDonald's down. That supply level is going to be 277.98 to 285.37, and on the demand side, you got 259.87 to 254.62. Next company, good old Coca-Cola. As well, you can see this level just tapped it, and it was holding Coca-Cola down at the moment. You got 62.58 to 63.44. Pepsi went down on its earnings last week, so let's see if Coca-Cola follows suit. And on the demand side, we got 54.98 to 53.84. Amazon's next. As you can see, Amazon popped from this level with the Microsoft earnings last week. So that demand zone here is 170.36 to 165.48. I will be cautious of this level as it already works. So the next demand level I have for you is 159.53 to 154.77. And on the supply side, 186.12 to 189.89. Next company I got for you is Starbucks. So Starbucks got a tight range here. Both these zones have been holding. And on the supply side, 90.11 to 93.09. And then on the demand side, 84.68 to 82.96. Be mindful that this zone has already worked. So in the event of an overshoot on earnings, the next level I have for you is 79.21 to 68.33. Next company I have for you is Riot. And on the demand side, 727 to 636. On the supply side, 2161 to 2659. Riot has been operating in the Bitcoin space, so just be mindful that it's been trying to mimic those charts. So you might have a possible, if we drop down and Bitcoin drops down this week, we could pick up the 727 with clearance all the way up to 2161. AMD, NVIDIA's little brother or sister. On the demand side, 146.91 to 133.93, and on the supply side, 176.68 to 187.48. Next company I have for you is SMCI. First supply level I got for you is 998.38 to 1066.59, and on the demand side, 603.83 to 562.86. For those of you trading SMCI, they've been added to the Dow this year. Just be mindful. Be mindful that this stock moves a lot and its premiums are erratic if you're going to trade it in options. Next company is Pfizer. So for Pfizer, demand side is 24.45 to 23.36, and the supply side is 33.54 to 34.67. Next company I got for you is CVS. On the demand side, 61.74 to 56.49, and on the supply side, 80.68 to 83.12. MasterCard is next. For MasterCard, no supply. However, on the demand side, we got two levels on top of each other. That's going to be the 440.67 to 430, and then you got the 430 to 425. Norwegian Cruise Lines. On the demand side, 1501 to 1404, and on the supply side, 2539 to 2644. Kraft Heinz is next. These are the levels that have been holding Kraft Heinz. You got 33.95 to 33.33 on the demand side. This level has worked a couple of times. And on the supply side, 38.56 to 39.39. And this level has worked a couple of times as well. In the event of an overshoot to the supply side, you got 40.31 to 41.48. Next company I got for you is Marriott. So Marriott, no supply. And on the demand side, I got 229.04 to 223.15. Next company is Estee Lauder. So for Estee Lauder, on the demand side, we got 118.06 to 110.86, and on the supply side, 172.49 to 183.13. Next company is Qualcomm. On the demand side, 143.84 to 139.05, and I have no supply for you on Qualcomm. Next company is Paychex. Oh, Paycom. My apologies. On the demand side, 153.34 to 145.02, and on the supply side, 236.23 to 247.73. Next company is Carvana, doing a heck of a recovery this year from being all the way down almost to, I believe, $5 earlier in the year. Yeah, $7 earlier this year. So on the demand side, 55.41 to 48.20, and on the supply side, 125 to 175. Moving on to Thursday, good old Apple. Apple's been struggling this year, all the way from 199 down to the 165. So it's currently at a discount. However, this is a weekly zone. In the event this breaks, we can go all the way down to 140. With that being said, the first demand zone I got for you is 165.61 to 159.85. And on the supply side, 180.75 to 183.91. Coinbase, heck of a year as well, is coming from the $78 level all the way up to 288 this year. First demand zone I got for you is 150.36 to 136.29. 21. Next company is Square. On the demand side, 60.12 to 57.29. And no supply for you in Square at the moment. Booking. First demand zone I have for you is 3,208 to 30.82. For those of you who are going to trade this, especially in options, be mindful that they have wide spreads. So be cognizant of that if you elect to trade booking. Next company is Expedia. And on the demand side, we got 118.26 to 110.79. Didn't have a supply zone to you until now that I just saw this. And that's going to be 156.32 to 159.78. And the last company I have for you for this week is going to be Hershey's. This level as well has been holding both of these levels all year, as you can see. Takes off, comes back, takes off, comes back. And let's see if this level can hold again and take us back up to the 207 area. And that level is going to be 182.07 to 171.95 with supply at 207.22 to 213.91. And that's going to do it for the charts this week. With that being said, here is my contact information. Feel free to go to the website to see what upcoming courses I have coming up. I have my schedule out for next month. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to email me. For those of you who are not following me, please do so and follow me on social media. If you haven't hit that subscribe button already, please go ahead and do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. With that being said, a lot of opportunities this week. Till next time, please have a plan and happy trading.